We are less than 31 days away from Season 12, Lights Out in Sao Paulo. So I'm excited to talk about these liveries today. I think there's some that are very similar and some that have had some drastic changes. And I think it's good to just have a look at, especially if you're a new Formula E fan, very similar to me. It's kind of getting to know who's on track and who to look out for. I'll try and give my best knowledge from being almost a rookie myself. And I'm owning that because I absolutely love the series and I think the community around us is fantastic. Now, testing wasn't televised. Like Formula One, where they have coverage, it's not televised. The only way you can watch testing is through the Formula E Zone YouTube channel, where they've got exclusive interviews and a few snippets of on track. Apart from that, we just have the official photography from Formula E, so that's what we're going to be looking at today. But it was amazing to see those on track for the first time, especially the new liveries. And I know Porsche had a test livery this year and they're going to be running one similar to last year, but it's just great to see. It felt like Formula E had started already and it's getting us hyped for the season. So let's start off with Nissan. Now, as a sort of Formula E noob, I actually thought that the livery they ran last year was a Japanese special because not paying too much attention to the finer details, I saw a lot of this car through the PR when they went to Japan with the blossom leaves on the side and the Nissan, obviously Nismo looking car. I just was a bit of a noob and thought, oh, this is nice. But actually, this has been the season livery for 2 seasons now, where they've got those blossom leaves on the side. They've got the Nissan look that they run across all different racing series. I like to think of it as like the Nismo or the Nissan Racing series. So they kind of keep in tune with their other cars from LMP and like Le Mans and stuff like that. So it is exciting to see. And I do think this livery's nice. I've said in previous videos, red scares me in a lot of motorsports, or blue. Sometimes you find that like 5 out of the 10 teams run it. So having similar looking cars is not what you want. But for this, I think it's absolutely stunning. So great one to start with. Let's move over to DS Penske, which is the complete opposite to Nissan. Very similar to last season's livery for them. Obviously, they run a very black car. And the first time I saw this shining was in Jeddah, when I think Maximilian Gunter took the lead on the last 2 corners of the race. And to see that gold under the lights was fantastic. Now, the design is very similar to last year. Obviously the pinstriping around the edges of the car makes it look fast and edgy, and I do like this one. It's a clean design, and obviously being mainly gold and the black just being sort of like the base colour. Obviously it's similar to Jaguar's colour schemes, but they look completely different, so I'm glad they've kept this. It's simple. I think from the pictures the wheels look a little bit different, but yeah, I'm glad DS Penske are running a similar design because it worked last year and it's going to work great. And I'm probably going to say many times in this video that this is the last era of Gen 3 before they completely overhaul into Gen 4. So a lot of them, I believe, are keeping it simple because it wasn't broken last year, so they're not changing it. One team that has kept the same, Envision. Now, I like to think of these as like the Earth. They're doing it for the Earth. It's a green sport. We're all electric, and Envision lean into that. They even have Race Against Climate Change on their car. And if you think of dark blue and green, I think of the Earth emoji, and that's why I see Envision as good for the planet. You can't go wrong with a bright green car. Because no other team run anything similar to this. So big thumbs up for them because they stand out like a sore thumb, and I hope that you guys get on the podium more often, because Buemi last year in Monaco was a great sight to see a bright green car running across the line in first place. So, but I can't really mention too much because again, similar to last year, but Envision, bright green, you can't miss them. Let's move over to Jaguar. Now, Jaguar is, again, a black and white with the gold accenting, but in comparison to DS Penske, they do it so much more lent into the white. And this car is really nice from actually a front view because you can see the gold and white joining together in the middle, and I think it looks fantastic. To not have a car on symmetry, I think just works really well. I'm a big fan of Jag. They're my team this year. I will own that. I used to be a Porsche fan, but moved over since Antonio Felix da Costa has come to Jaguar. So they were looking strong last season. And this car just looks really nice on the track. Again, having a lot of black. They don't do it for like any carbon fibre reasons, not that I know of. There's not too much in the rules of like paint and carbon fibre. So to see a black car is quite nice. And I do like this Jag livery. I wouldn't say it's my favourite from the launches, but you'll see when I talk about the next couple. Andretti, biggest change I would say, if you don't count obviously the rebrand from Citroën, but Andretti were white. This is their season 11 livery. I thought it was quite nice. Big white front end on it, but now they've moved to the dark side and they've gone for a black front end with a really evil red in the middle. It's quite a simple design. I'm not too sure. My favourite part of it is the Andretti logo just below the T-cam. Obviously, it was one of those when they rendered it, I was like, that's a bit strange. But then when we saw it on track, I do think it actually looks quite nice. I think it's better in person than on a computer render. It might grow on us, we'll see. I don't know. I'm a bit like, I liked it at first, then I saw it on track and I liked it, and then I saw it back in pictures again and I was like, I don't know. But yeah, it's quite a nice one. Very simple, not a lot of sponsors, but Andretti being kind of a big presence in motorsport, I don't think need a lot of sponsors. So it's nice to see. Definitely one of the biggest changes. And I do like it. So it gets in a stickle of approval because, again, staying away from the red designs is quite difficult, and I think they've really lent into the black on this one, and it does look quite evil. So yes, nice one from Andretti. Next is Cooper Kiro. One of the nicer designs I think that were launched this year, keeping very similar to last, but they've put a nice bronzy brown at the back, and I think it separates that bright highlighter yellow. I love the fact they kept that because it is really iconic in Formula E to have that Cooper Kiro look, but to have that sort of goldy bronze just makes the car look well more balanced. That was very well more balanced. Definitely the best describing word I can use for today's video. Obviously last year they had a bright yellow and a black, but they've brought more colour into it this season, so it's less of like a highlighter on the track. But again, can't complain with the unique bright colours, but this is definitely a nod to a nice design. They've got black, yellow and brown in there, and it looks really nice, or bronze. I don't know what the official colour is, but yeah, love this one. Think it's going to be really good. Some are going to say that Dan Tickton will be fighting for more wins and hopefully the championship this season. So yeah, it's a nice looking car to do it in, so good luck to them. Lola Yamaha. This one's quite a tongue twister, especially when you've got the word yellow in your head. This is the yellow car. If you thought Cupra was yellow, this is like bright, bright yellow. Obviously, they're running very similar colours to what they've run in other motorsports. When you think of Yamaha, they've ran yellow quite a couple of times. This is kind of like a fairly new manufacturer to Formula E. They're on the back foot, so last season they were at the back. They were yellow last season as well. They've kind of kept a similar design. I know that this year they've got kind of two designs per the drivers. One has like a bluer side pod and one has a yellow side pod, so you'll be able to see them if they're fighting each other, which is quite cool. I do think this again is a nice one. If they were all black cars, this would be the best one out of all of them, but as we've got a mix of colours, it is definitely nice to see. But yeah, I like this one. I just hope that they fight for more the midfield positions this year, and I hope that the hard work's paid off for you guys, because I think, you know, as a fairly sort of bottom end team, it'd be nice to see you scoring consistent points. So I'm all for it, and if we can get you guys on the podium again, that'd be fantastic. Let's talk about the biggest change in Formula E. Obviously, we have lost Maserati. I called them the Formula E Williams. It's a very similar design. Really like the blue, actually, because there isn't many blue teams on the grid. So this was a nice sight to see. But obviously, Citroën have now taken over, and they have wonderfully coming in with this livery. It's very French flag, and I love that about French teams. They always like to integrate the colours of their flag into their cars. I think it's actually the other way around if you flip it, but yes, absolutely love this. I think it's really nice. It's a very much of a nod to their rally series. I think that, you know, having the red front end and the blue back is just fantastic, and the colours they've chosen look amazing on track. I thought the render looked fantastic, but to see the actual photographers like photos is brilliant. And if you know motorsport, they don't edit a lot of them because they need to get them out fast. So that is pretty much what we would call raw out the camera, or JPEG out the camera if you really want to go technical. But yeah, absolutely love this livery. I think it's going to look absolutely stunning. And again, doesn't blend in with any other of the reds. The reds have really separated apart this season. Obviously, season 10 there was quite a few close ones, but like now they do feel like they've got their own identity, and that's what I like about some of the liveries. But yeah, absolutely great to see this. It'll be good to see where Citroën are. I don't know. They kind of like were up in the top end in testing, but we don't know because testing should only be taken with a pinch of salt. Sticking with the red team, we have Mahindra. Now, Mahindra have got a very similar livery to last year, if not almost identical. Obviously, they've got a good lineup this year, and they looked very fast in testing. And obviously, as I've mentioned, we don't know where it's going to come out, but let's see in Sao Paulo if these guys are in the top, let's say 10. I think they have a quite good potential of having both cars in the top 10. So I'm looking forward to that, and it's a very nice livery. I think the balance in this one is so nice between the red, the black and the white. It looks and it works really well. And the final one, I like to think these guys are sort of the boss battle of Formula E at the moment. Obviously Porsche, they changed from a red design, not this season, but last season, into a purple design. And I think this is absolutely goated. Purple to me is a sign of royalty. It's a sign of like luxury. And I think they've really, in this design, lent into that loads. And I absolutely love it. It's one of the best livery changes I think we've ever had in motorsport, because it's just so unique and I absolutely love it. I think the biggest change is actually their title sponsor isn't Tag Heuer. I'm not 100% sure, but I think TKD is now their title sponsor to the Porsche car. So they've kept the purple livery but changed a few of the sponsors on the car. I will mention they did a nice livery. This is it here, they ran in testing. It's like a cyber software design and I think it's pretty cool. Obviously Reddit were raving about it. I would give it a 7 out of 10. It's a testing livery. I don't think it was that good if you compare it to like the Kiro and the Citroen. So yeah, it was nice to see. They had a nice supporting car dressed up in it as well, which I thought was the medical car, but I don't think it was. So, but yeah, absolutely the Porsche. The Porsche is just amazing. Obviously I used to be a Porsche fan. I've now moved to Jag because of Antonio Felix da Costa. So, but you know, that's what I like about motorsport. You don't have to be loyal to one team always. You can jump around, unlike football. So if you're new to Formula E, definitely pick a team this season and just back them. Obviously, if you want a leading team, you can go for Nissan, Jaguar or Porsche. They were kind of like the three fighting at the end. Lowly Yamaha, of course, are the underdogs of the season, so if you want an entertaining challenge to go support them, then go do it. And this is where I think that having a video game in Formula E would just be amazing, because I'd pick them and try and get them to the top of the championship in what is 11 rounds, but of course we have 17 races. So it's going to be an exciting season. I think the liveries this year do look pretty good. It's nice to see some haven't changed it too much, and then we've got those drastic changes to bring something fresh to season 12. So thank you so much for watching. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of season 12. So if you haven't considered subscribing and supporting the channel, please do. And leave us a comment down below on which livery you think is the best for season 12.